as you know, Geno Bisconti, my betrothed, and I have been doing the Steel Toe Morning Show, filling in for, in the absence of his ex-wife. I just have some choice words and thoughts about the situation. So we're just going to go ahead and pull up a clip on it, okay? Aaron put us in a very, 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 very sticky situation. That's not really what a friend does. Him asking us to fill in for her while all of that was going on, I think was a bit of a... he got right to us, like, oh, we're getting a divorce, and she's on this, and da. And we were like, anything you need, buddy. Okay. So we did the show for many months. It was always supposed to be temporary, but the way that he is framing it now is not, it's not quite right. And the things that have come out, that I will tell you whether or not the Viscontis believe or not, is quite untoward. So let's just play it, and then I will explain. So here we go.
Yep. Once a week, once every other week, I'll just go, hey, man, I hope you're hanging in there okay, blah, 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 and I'll get a text back.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's talking about Bisconti.
Bum the guy out. Sometimes I'll just text.
He's talking, if you don't know, obviously, he's talking about Bisconti. He's going like, oh, I don't want to bother him during the merger. I don't want to bother him during this merger that's going on. False, okay? We just weren't answering you. We saw some weird shit come out. It wasn't that I was on vacation. I still streamed with John DiCaprio. It wasn't that I was on vacation. It wasn't any of that. We just didn't know what to think, and we wanted to just wait a second before we responded to you. It has nothing to do with the merger, which you know nothing about. So there we go. Anyway, we'll continue on.
Text Keanu because I'm like, I don't want to bother Geno with this right now. Keanu and Geno were always temporary here.
Okay.
Yeah. Keanu and Geno were never.
All right. So Bisconti was talking to me just now. He was just trying to fill me in. It was like we got a live update, right? Saying that Aaron's talking about this right now. It doesn't care if we throw him out of the wedding. Okay. Because Aaron, he I believe in this clip, he does say that he doesn't want to be a distraction because he's such a big star. You know, what a big star you are, Aaron. What a big star. Okay. Anyway, we'll continue on this clip. All right, here we go.
We're in the full-time, long-term plans of Steel Toe for one main reason. I couldn't afford to let them keep coming here, and then I couldn't offer.
You couldn't afford it. We were trying to be nice to you. You couldn't not afford it. What about the weeks where you didn't pay us? How about those weeks? And then as soon as we kind of stop answering, ding, oh, here's $100 for last week. I'm like, what about this week? This week. Thanks for the $30 on this week. All right. Doesn't matter. As friends, we would have done it for free. So, and we were like, yeah, buddy, anything you need. Me and Geno immediately, not that we already weren't, we were texting April. We didn't really hear from her, but of course she doesn't want to, text back to somebody that's involved with him. And I get that. I completely understand.
Well, then the compound sensor thing comes.
Okay.
Then these
again. So he thinks that has something to do with it. Nice freeze frame. He has no fucking idea what's going on. This man, for some reason, thinks that he's a part of it. He was texting us. The only thing, texts went ignored. And then finally he was going, is it a merger? Is it this? Is it that? Because he wants something to talk about on his fucking show.
Horse shit allegations about Mika, which I can't say loud enough. Lies, incorrect. Mm-hmm. But it's 2.5 years ago.
Okay, that's another thing. Horse shit allegations. The allegations are really fucking disturbing. And I would be full of fucking shit if I said that I didn't. If it's not exactly that, something fucking happened. You're painting it and as like Nick is this manipulative abuser. Yes. And I actually agree with that. Meanwhile, all that happened. And then he goes on to say, oh, it was 2 years ago. This all came out 2 years ago. What fucking difference does that make, man? When it was the Kevin Brennan podcast or whatever, when the mugshots or what have you came out. And we were just like, he's enjoying this a little bit too much, don't you think? That's not how you would react to somebody that you gave a fuck about. That was your wife. The worst evil is culty narcissist. Okay. That's the worst evil. So whatever. We're still trying to be a friend to him. We didn't know about any of this. We're still trying to be a friend to him. And we're going to do his show. And you know, but something about Aaron, like, we know he's unfunny. We know that, like, he has like zero self-awareness. But something about a dweeb with zero self-awareness is endearing. Okay. And then it starts to trickle in where you're just like, okay, he's enjoying this too much. We can't do this for much longer. I didn't in my wildest dreams think something like this would come out. But again, he kind of call us too nice, but we were a little bit manipulated. And but we definitely saw the signs, didn't see the signs of that. But he knew this the whole time. It's lie after lie after lie. For example, okay, the day before, I remember the arrest happened, right? He calls me and says, so I have to tell you something. Me and Kayla hooked up a couple of times. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Whatever. Our Nick and, I mean, I guess, you know, everybody's been saying that you guys were swinging. Like, okay, why did you? And then he goes, I said, are April and Nick hooking up? He's like, not to my knowledge. No, I never saw anything like that. It only happened a couple of times with me and Kayla. All right. Cut to, he's on fucking Keno Casino going, we were wife swapping and da 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 da. Like, why even lie to me about that? It's just something always comes out. There's no trusting him. There's no fucking trusting him. I thought he's just a dweeb, a kind of likable dweeb. So now I'm getting it. And sorry. Sorry. And I'm never going to read anything that April has sent to me. And she does not want to be talked about publicly. But I did hear from her, and I will never, ever read those to you. Just happy to hear from my friend. And from those messages, I gathered, okay, yeah. This ain't a fucking joke. The first time before we went to Minnesota, I was watching some stuff about him, or I was watching his show. I'm like, I don't think this guy likes women. I don't think April had like a lot of friends. Probably because maybe he wasn't allowing her to have a lot of friends. Who knows? I don't know. We're trying to be friends with the both of them. And then now this. And I'm not saying it's true. No one knows if it's true. But in my brain, sorry, Toe, where there's smoke, there's fire. So a very nice, whatever, very long message from a dear friend of mine. That's all I'm going to say. I will read the rest of it later but what I just skimmed, I'm not. And I will never read her messages ever. But I'm just happy to hear from her. It's all I wanted. And I've already apologized to her for even, being a part of any of this, but we were trying to do what trying to help somebody that we thought was a friend, and we didn't know, and I think she understands that. So this is really fun. Let's make fun of the allegations. This came off looking great.
If I really thought that those two thought I was hi-ya,
very funny. Oh wow, he's like so fucking uncomfortable. Like, get me out of here, Matt. Someone save you. Hilarious. Yeah, okay.
I really had an inkling that those two thought I did that, I would decimate them on this program.
Decimate, excuse me, I used the wrong word. Decimate them. Okay, what are you gonna do to us, homie? I wanted April in my wedding. Geno was like, would have never asked you, but I said, let's have them both. Okay? Which is why the card literally said, why don't you hang by me? All right? That actually literally breaks my heart to say. But I think at some point you deserve it, homie. It breaks my heart to say that. I'm like, I want April. We can't just have Aaron. Whatever. All right? I don't like what I'm hearing. I don't like any of the stuff that I've, any of the pain and turmoil you've put us all through. Okay? That literally breaks my heart to say. Okay? And we like you. We were there for you. We tried to have your back, but you were not honest. You weren't honest at all. You'll tell us one thing, then you're on a show and it's a whole nother fucking thing. There's no trusting you.